Hey everyone, I'm Amy Romrell and I'm the owner of Mrs. Powell's Bakery, and today we're going to show you how we make our giant family-sized cinnamon roll. Now this is 3 pounds of dough. It ends up being about like this big. It feeds 4 to 6 people, maybe 8, but if you have a lot of faith in yourself, it might just feed 1. So what we put in our dough is water and egg, and then we have some butter, and we do salt, sugar, and milk powder. And then we, of course, use yeast because we've got to have some kind of a raising agent. And then once we've got the dough mixed and we're assembling, we're going to use some more butter and some cinnamon sugar and some brown sugar. So let's get mixing. So we're going to start with water. It's pretty warm. And then we'll do our butter. And the water's pretty hot, so that's going to melt the butter a little bit, and that's what we want. So we're not going to put our yeast in yet because the water's too hot and it's going to kill it. You could melt your butter instead of putting it in solid like that, and then that would just speed it up. But the point is that we need some kind of a grease, some kind of oil. So you don't have to use butter. You could use margarine, you could use oil, you could use Crisco. You always want to put half the flour in first and let it mix really good, and then we put the rest of the flour in later. Okay, so we've let it mix for a little while and our butter is melted really good, and so now I'm going to add half of my flour, like I said, and then I'll put in the yeast. What this does is the flour will cool down that really hot water and the yeast will go crazy and it'll make really nice bread. Now that we've mixed our dough, I've let it rest for a few minutes, about 5 to 10 minutes, so that we can relax the gluten so that it's not too shocked. And I've greased my counter. Now when you're rolling out your cinnamon rolls, don't put extra flour on your counter or you're gonna get drier cinnamon rolls. So put a little bit of grease on it. You could spray it with nonstick cooking spray or you could rub some oil on your counter. So then I'm gonna roll it out. This is 3 pounds of dough that I've pre-measured. And to make the family roll, I'm just gonna roll it into a rough rectangle. Now don't worry about being ultra perfect about it. Nobody's gonna know whether one side was a little bit misshapen or not. They're just gonna be so happy that you made this for them. Okay, so once I've got it about somewhere between 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch thick, I'm going to spread some butter. So this is softened butter. You could also take melted butter and brush it on. And I'm gonna get the middle really good, but I'm going to leave these edges and not butter them. Then I'm gonna put cinnamon sugar. A good rule of thumb for how much cinnamon to how much sugar is 6 to 1. So 6 cups of sugar to 1 cup of cinnamon, or tablespoons, or however you wanna measure. So we wanna be pretty generous with our cinnamon sugar. Then we're gonna take some brown sugar, just as much as you like. And then I'm gonna just spread it around on top. And then I'm gonna cut it into 4 strips. Don't get too hung up on making it absolutely perfect. And then I'm gonna take the middle strip because I'm a little OCD and I want one side to be really straight. And I like to flip it around so that I still have this nice straight edge when I'm rolling. And again, I'm gonna pinch it, and that guy is rebelling a little bit, and I'll just push him back in. Okay, we get to the end and we've got this beautiful, huge cinnamon roll. I'm gonna pinch it off. Now, that's not how I want it to look. So I want it to spread out a little more, so I'm just gonna smush it down. Now, we're gonna let it raise for about an hour. You wanna cover it with plastic wrap and let it rise in your kitchen in a warm spot for about an hour. All right, there's your family roll.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good day.